Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back once again to the Push to Pass F1 podcast. We are sorry there was no episode last week. We were very, very, very busy as we are currently in quite a slog with university and deadlines, which we found out today because he had to literally do one about an hour ago. How are you doing, my friend?
Good. Ready for this? Ready to talk F1?
Yeah, this is a bit of a rushed episode because Reef has decided now is a great time to go on holiday and abandon us all.
Yeah, sorry. Apologies to all the Push to Pass listeners.
Where are you going anyway?
I'm going to Malaysia.
Yeah, for the
MotoGP, yeah.
You did that in first year, didn't you?
Yeah,
What the helly? Fair play.
returning.
Nice for some. Right, COTA had a lot of action. It signed a new extension until 2043, I think, or 42.
Yeah.
So that's good because I think you're a fan of it, aren't you?
I love the track. The track itself is really good.
Remember the one year it was really bouncy?
Yeah,
Sort of got-
yeah.
They've sort of got rid of that now. So, right, let's start with the sprint, which was probably more eventful than the actual race. There was a big coming together between the two McLarens because they are absolutely reluctant on winning the world title either, which allowed Max to gain 8 points on Saturday. Have you seen the crash? Because I don't think you watched the sprint, did you?
I didn't watch the sprint, but I've seen the crash. I've seen multiple angles.
Thoughts?
I'd say it's Piastri's fault.
And I would.
I'd say I can see what he's doing. What he's doing isn't outrageous. It's not like a mindless moment. He's just trying to sling it up the inside, the sort of slingshot move. But he didn't account for the fact that it's such a dogleg turn that there's going to be someone in the braking zone. So it's just one of them.
I think it's Piastri's. I'm not going to say fault. I think it is still a racing incident. I think it's just more on Piastri.
Yeah, it's
Because-
not. Yeah, sorry.
It's your typical turn one, and especially like you said, it's that dogleg turn into turn one. It looks really wide, and then the apex just absolutely shuts off. Like we've had it before. Russell took out signs, I think it was in like 2 or 3 years ago, and yeah, Nico couldn't really go anywhere because he had Alonso up the inside. So it was just a bit of a coming together, but commentary decided to treat it like it was the end of the world.
Well, in terms of the championship, this will be looked back on for sure. This will be a moment where it's, especially if a certain Dutchman wins the championship, this will be seen as kind of the accelerator to all that.
So after this weekend, Oscar Piastri's on 346 points. Lando Norris is on 332, so he's 14 back from Oscar, and then Max is on 306, so 40 points back from Oscar. Martin Brundle raised a great point where it was it? Yeah, if the Zandvoort result hadn't happened, and if Lando hadn't retired, Lando would currently be leading the World Championship. Shows how very tight this fight is between the two McLarens, doesn't it?
Yeah, I didn't think of that. Wow, that's crazy. It's well, it feels like the momentum has completely shifted. Piastri's gone from someone where it's like, oh, he's unflappable, throw anything at him and he's gonna put it on the box. And now, the last 4 or 5 races, it feels like just nothing's gone his way.
Yeah, we've been very quick to praise him this season, so I think we do need to be quite equal on the other way to criticise him. He is in it's probably the worst run of form he's had this season. Like this weekend, he had 0 pace at all, and I'd back him to turn it round, but also he's now no longer fighting a one-man fight. He's fighting his teammate, arguably his team as well on occasions, and Max.
Yeah, it's political now. It's definitely McLaren political, but as you say, you've got a 4-time world champion that's 40 points away. 40 points is not much at all.
Well, yeah. Well, I'm trying to think back to what it was. I think it was after Hungary, the gap was 104. And in it's either 4 races or like 5, he's taken it down by like 60 points.
And if you'd asked me at Hungary, I'd said that there's no chance that Max can recuperate that, which shows just how much I know. But it also shows the downward sort of trajectory of the two McLarens, really. Both of them haven't been that high point scoring.
I think there's actually a clip from what race? I think it was just after the summer break, and one of us said, I think it might have been before Monza. It was one of those races, and I think it might have been you who joked about Max winning the World Championship, and we were like, oh, it could actually happen though. And now we're like 4 or 5 races down the line, and it's not even a case of it can happen. People think it is going to happen.
I'd really, really, really back him there. I think he's got the form, he's got the talent, and he's got the momentum.
I think he's got. I think he's going to do it because I think that Red Bull is the quickest car now.
You think? Oh, I don't know about that. I'd
I'd,
argue
I'd,
that.
I'd say. Thing is, they've also got the caveat of it's a very quick car and they've got Max behind the wheel.
Yeah, I think they have definitely found something because if you look at Yuki's performances,
Yeah, he's better.
and that's to be honest, that's the only way you can really gauge where that Red Bull is. I think
Well, from where the second driver is.
100%. Because Max will drive around any problem, really. So you never really know how good that car is. So you look at Yuki, and there's no coincidence that as Max has turned up the wick regarding the Championship Challenge, Yuki's also on average getting better results as well, which to me tells me that they've found something.
Well, who was it? I think Martin Brundle made the point on commentary yesterday that is that after or pre Monza they pretty much completely overhauled their front wing like aero when Laura Mekies came in, and he said like they've unlocked like so much pace from that, and that's why they've been able to like have this sort of second half of the season charge. So they've clearly got so much more development, and I think they're putting themselves at risk for next year, but I think they need it for this year, considering all the stuff that's gone on with the team this year.
I think they know that next year they're going to be on the back foot anyway. I'm right in saying that'll be the first year with their powertrain, right?
No, they're Red Bull powertrains now. It's their first year with Ford
Sorry. Yes.
because they having that partnership, and it's Red Bull because it was Honda, then it was Red Bull Honda. That now it's been. I think this year and last year was Red Bull powertrains, and now it's Red Bull powertrains Ford. But I think the latest reading is they're not going to be horrific, but I don't think they're going to be as quick as like the Mercedes power unit.
You'll have to expect them to be slightly on the back foot. Just from that as well, maybe I've read that wrong and they won't be too much of a disadvantage. But also, new team principle. I mean, Mekis has integrated really well, and maybe this was the change they needed. However, teams like Mercedes, they've had what? I'd call it 3 years of rebuilding now. 3, 4? No.
4, I'd say 2021 onwards.
Yeah. So you're going to expect an upturn in form from them, and everyone, no one's going to stop. So I'm not going to say they're not going to have the best car next year. So I would prioritize a championship now.
Do you think he does it then?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
To provide a bit of context, we had in our lectures today. I had a discussion of this with 2 other people in our course, and my reasoning behind it was the max minimum now has to just finish top 3, in my opinion, to do it, because the best case scenario for him is to have the McLarens against each other, in the sense of they need to both take points off each other, unless McLaren do genuinely go, right, well, one of you needs to sort of give in, and neither of them are going to want to do that because you'd be stupid to.
Not done the maths. I don't know who needs what, but realistically, Max needs to finish on the podium every race now.
I think I'm right in saying, and I saw it somewhere, if Max outscores them by a minimum of 9 points, no, Max needs to outscore them by 9 points each weekend to win it by Abu Dhabi. I think we've still got 2 sprint weekends left in Brazil and I want to say Qatar.
I'd say that's a hard task. 9 points on average.
That's only it's 8 for first to second, isn't it?
I don't know. I think that's for both of them. That's quite difficult. To be honest, I think if I wanted to be anyone right now, I'd want to be Lando Norris in this title fight.
I think he's probably got the easiest sort of scenario, in the sense of if he's equally matched to Oscar and looking in the better form. And as long as he can just carry that up, I think on merit alone, he will be able to keep his gap. It's just whether those two start to trip up over each other, or whether McLaren completely drop the ball in like strategy or something and start gifting points to, and they drop to like third or fourth in the race, and they leave points then for Max to get even more of an advantage.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I'd rather be the hunter than hunted at the end of the day. And we went from like Piastri was in such a beautiful position of like the first 10 races, he was almost over exceeding people's expectations of a fourth year, whatever he's on. Yeah, no one expected him to be a main title challenger this year anyway.
No, look, I think as many people would agree, coming into this year, I thought it was Lando's title to lose.
Yeah, I thought Lando and Max, Piastri will be the third guy. So those first 10 races where he won like 5 or 6, whatever it was, you're like, oh my God, like this is unbelievable. But now the expectation's there and he's in a poor run of form. And now it's almost, people are looking at him to get it over the line. If he loses this is a catastrophe. It's 104 points ahead of third place. And if third place wins, that's a monumental collapse. It's not a place I'd want to be.
I think he has to win one of the next two.
He'd be wanting to win both. Probably.
I think minimum he has to win one of the next two without Lando winning. And then all he has to do then, in my opinion, is just focus on Max. Because if he can if he finishes in Mexico, if he wins, and then in Brazil he finishes second to Max, Lando's then dropping points, but he's sort of negated the gap so that Max doesn't gain at all. In the sense of he can gap Lando more, but he can sort of just keep Max at arm's distance.
You think it goes down to the final race?
Judging from the tracks we have, which all favour Red Bull and Max in general, he couldn't have asked for a better running of tracks. I think it could, but also I think it's one DNF from second or third place from being over.
Yeah.
I think literally like 1 or 2 weekends could, like, say next weekend if Max and Lando collide into each other and Oscar wins, I think it's title done.
Yeah. Okay.
Because then I think if that does happen, like Oscar goes to 39 points, he goes to like 60 ahead of Max. Surely then McLaren say to Lando, right, look, he's pretty much nearly 2 race wins ahead of you. We have to like go for him.
They will.
I don't think they will for a second, because they doing this whole papaya rules nonsense and
it's more anti-Norris propaganda. But we were on about in uni about the commercial aspect, because I think a lot of people, and it's not just us, it's people far bigger than us with far more listeners, are all kind of perplexed at McLaren's thinking. Any team, probably 4 or 5 races ago, would have had the conversation of, right, we've got a clear front runner, he gets priority, and they're not doing that. And I think everyone's a bit like, what's that about?
The only, in my view and experience, the only title fight I can compare it to at all is probably 2010, when Red Bull had both Webber and Vettel in the fight for it, but they weren't first and second. They were like, Vettel had a long shot. I've never known a team leave it this far and still allow their drivers to absolutely batter each other out on track.
Right, because I think we would be complaining. We'd be complaining
100%.
if it was like, oh, Norris has let him through. So in one breath, I'm happy that it's the way it is, but then in another, I'm thinking, what the hell? Like, what are you doing?
Well, they've given Lando repercussions now for his move in, for the stuff that happened in Singapore.
Yeah?
Yeah, Oscar now gets to go. Oscar gets to choose when he goes out the pit lane in qualifying.
Oh, wow.
I know.
It's like, it's so, their whole system to me seems a bit odd. I think they're a bit of a laughing stock, to be honest with you, with other teams. Max has said a few things, and I don't think he's alone in the way he thinks about how stuff's run there.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Max is like I remember in Monza, he was literally laughing at them.
It's crazy, man.
Right, let's move on from McLaren. Oh, quick little thing. Did you know that Red Bull rejected a bid from someone to buy VCARB?
Didn't know.
Yeah, they rejected a $2.3 billion bid to purchase VCARB.
I think it's too much of an asset to them.
Who do you reckon would try and buy that team?
Love if it was like a Toyota or something.
I saw the name Porsche floating around.
Oh,
Because they've just pulled out of WEC.
yeah, they have, which is crazy. Sure, they've got to be doing something else. You can't have no Porsche racing. I know they've got the GT3 Cup Series and such, but we need like a hypercar, or they
They're
need
in
that
Formula
top
E, aren't they?
level.
Well, also, they've now got Mercedes and Audi in
Yeah,
F1
I mean,
for next year, don't they?
I like VCARB, and I like the. I think this splits opinion, but I like the academy sort of route.
Yeah.
I know it doesn't always work. Actually, it hasn't worked at all for the last
It's been dreadful, but
6-7 years. It's not worked, but I like it. Saying that, I would love Porsche. So I don't know.
I feel like you will associate a team with like its feeder team. So like Williams has always been seen as like the Mercedes talent thing.
Yeah, the
Like
last
Haas and that with Ferrari.
I'd say the last 15 years, Williams have been seen like that because we had Rosberg went from Williams to Merc, Bottas, Russell. So those three, yeah. Haas is like a Ferrari sort of gateway.
Yeah, like I remember like when Alfa Romeo, less now when it's that Sauber steak, whatever it's called. But yeah, I remember like Sauber you'd always see like when Charles was there, or they'd try and put like Giovinazzi in because he was a reserve driver and stuff. I like it, but I would like to see another team on the grid.
I think they should just have it as 12 though. They'll have 11 next year, make it 12, and then you got 24 drivers, and then I think that's perfect. No more.
We had 12, didn't we?
I think there's been 12 before.
Yeah, I'm sure there was back in like 20. It was probably in that 20, like 12, 13, 14 era when anyone could just buy a Formula One team for
We
the
have
money
like
for it.
Manor, Caterham.
Marussia, SRT,
Yeah.
Virgin Racing.
But 12 seems perfect. And I'd be happy with a Porsche, a Toyota, anyone.
Yeah. Get rid of Alpine. Bring back Renault.
I said this. Who did I say this to the other day? I said that Alpine inevitably are going to rebrand because they've just dealt with their whole F1 tenure has been terrible. Eventually, they'll just get fed up of it and they'll end up being Renault again. They've
gone to Mercedes, haven't they?
Yeah.
So they've already binned off their engine department, which makes no sense. Does that mean we have 3 engine suppliers next year?
Red Bull, Ferrari.
Yeah, but I think Audi are going to come in and make theirs, and I think Cadillac said they're going to build their own one, didn't they?
Yeah, like General Motors are going to make a push.
Rooting to in V8 shooting.
Brother.
Right, let's get on to drive ratings. We will do it for the Grand Prix, but if someone did good in the sprint, we'll notify them. Your top 10 are in P10, Fernando Alonso, P9, Oliver Bearman, 8th, Nico Hulkenberg, 7th, Tsunoda, 6th, George Russell, 5th, Oscar Piastri, 4th, Lewis Hamilton, 3rd, Charles Leclerc, 2nd, Lando Norris, and 1st, Max Verstappen. Right, Fernando Alonso. Nearly got absolutely... I think he did have contact in the sprint, if I'm right in saying he was sort of part of that melee. Yeah, he retired. Bless him. He has no luck, does he?
No luck at all. But I don't know. This P10 is...
Lance made some... He was doing okay. If he hadn't had that 5-place grid penalty, he probably would have got points. Because he was just absolutely sending it round everyone. But it's that Aston Martin again.
Yeah, I really thought they'd be... I thought they'd be a turn in form by now with Newey and stuff.
I think he's not touching this car. I think that's what's been...
And to be honest, that makes total sense.
But I think was it Monaco? I remember they were saying like he's not involved in like the day-to-day things, but if he can see something where they're like clearly going wrong, he'll be like, yeah, let's not do that.
Yeah.
So I think he's just like sort of watching from the outside. I'll give him a 6.
Seems fair enough for me.
P9, Ollie Bearman, fair play to him.
Yeah.
got absolutely obliterated by Yuki and was very lucky to not be involved in a crash.
I heard good things.
He was just very. I think that battle with Yuki was actually quite decent, and the midfield was just absolute chaos. Like I remember at one point there was like there was like Lawson was battling, and then like Antonelli was fighting his way through, and then the Alpines were scrapping with each other because Franco Colapinto doesn't know how to drive a Formula One car. But yeah, Ollie Behrman, he got absolutely obliterated in the sprint race by Stroll, or was that Ocon? I can't remember. Where did he qualify?
Stroll. I think Stroll took him out.
Yeah, I can't remember. Oh, he qualified 8th. So he qualified 8th, finished 9th. Not bad. Who finished ahead of him? Oh, Hulkenberg, the GOAT.
I was discussing Ollie Behrman today.
Was you?
And
Bit of Ollie Behrman chatter.
Do you think he's the obvious replacement for Hamilton after 27?
No.
No?
I have quite a strong opinion on Ollie Behrman.
You don't think he's good enough?
No.
Really?
I just... Do you know when you get that feeling of a rookie where you're like... Remember when we had Charles and you were like, this boy is like generational?
Yeah.
I do not get that from...
But not everyone can be that.
Yeah, but surely Ferrari... Because, let's face it, if Ferrari lose Lewis, well, they're going to eventually because he's going to retire. They probably are going to also lose Charles if they don't improve.
Yeah.
So they're likely going to throw big money at someone.
And you need someone that's capable but not, you don't, ideally you don't want two number ones. I think it makes sense.
Hear me out. Ferrari go for Kimi Antonelli.
Well, what's your thinking with that?
Toto Wolff twerks for Max Verstappen every other week.
Yeah.
Does Toto then go, I want to get rid of George
Yes, definitely.
for the future? Or do you say I want to get rid of Kimi and have the more all-rounded lineup?
Definitely get rid of George.
You think?
Yes, definitely.
I just want to see Kimi in a Ferrari because he's Italian.
I mean, yeah, it would be beautiful. It would be beautiful. But I think Toto Wolff definitely gets rid of George. It makes so much more sense. Kimi's so young that he could kind of stay as he is, but gradually improve for 5 years. And he's still, what, like 22, 23?
Who has Ferrari got in their driver academy at the moment?
They let a bunch of people go.
They've got Dino Boganovic, Rafael Kamara, who's just won
F3.
F3.
Yeah.
They've got random karting drivers.
I'm going to be honest,
Wade.
Dino Boganovic is not going to get to F1.
No, I think he'll be like he's destined for like their hypercar programming.
Yeah, he's not going to get to F1.
Stinks of an Antonio Giovinazzi.
I don't know about Kamara because I find F3 is very hard to gauge talent because it is such a melee.
Yeah, I think with F3 you have to back it up with a good F2 season, like what Oscar did and like what Kimi did. Even though Kimi's
F3 had Logan Sargent looking like a superstar.
he was when he Oscar's like main title rival or something.
Yeah,
And then he was awful, man.
but he looked really good in F3. Like he was fast. So you can't read into F3 at all, I think. So I can't speak on Kamara.
Oh, speaking of driver program academy, whatever. Lindblad is driving in FP1 for Red Bull. He's driving instead of Max. Which it didn't make a lot of sense, but I think they pretty much more go in. I think Max can do without 1 hour, whereas Yuki probably needs it because he's obviously never driven that track in that car.
Yeah. Anyway, we got really sidetracked.
That was such a tangent.
Yeah.
Ollie Behrman, I'll go with a 7.
I think he's impressive. I think it's a 7.5. I think he's fast. Yeah, I think you're underrating him, and I think where else is he gonna go? Because he can't stay in that Haas forever.
He could.
I think he's quick. I think he's a typical rookie. He's fast. He's got the natural pace. He just hasn't pieced it together yet.
I think I think I need to see. I think it's just typical rookie thing of I think I'm clouding a lot of what I saw when he came in like Jeddah and stuff.
Fair.
And it's just I don't want it to be a bit like Mick Schumacher syndrome.
Yeah, but not to throw a slant on Mick Schumacher, but he's like
He was woeful.
he's just not as fast as Behrman is.
Do you reckon he'll ever go back into F1?
No.
No, I reckon he's destined for it. For like WEC or IndyCar. Yeah. P8, Nico Hulkenberg caused the greatest thing to ever happen to F1, and now Max Verstappen gained 20 points off it.
I think purely for that and vibes reasons, he gets at least an 8. Must do.
He like have you this was something my mind could simply not commute like if when you look at something and you think that can't be true. Nico Hulkenberg in a Sauber is ninth in the drivers' championship with 48 points.
I was literally going to say, we went from the start of this podcast, 32 episodes ago, whatever it was, pre-season, saying that they're not going to get a point this year.
Yeah, Nico Hulkenberg's on 41 points. Gabriel Bortoleto is 19th in the standings, right? Usually in years gone by, they'd have like between 1 and 5 points. He's on 18.
Yeah. Nuts.
What a sport.
Different, innit? It's been very competitive this year, which is great.
I think this is probably the most competitive field we've had in probably about 10 years.
Yeah. And that you're right. Most of the time, if you're 19th, you've got like 4 points.
Yeah, or you'll have like you might get like a random one in a race where there's like 12 finishers.
Years gone by, 19 points or 18 points, whatever you just said, would get you like 12th, 13th.
Remember how long Russell had to wait to get his first points in a Williams?
Yeah. Mental.
Bortoletto's nearly on 20.
Mental.
Hulkenberg, it was just classic Hulkenberg.
Yeah.
More than solid. He is the definition of a steady pair of hands, isn't he?
Yep. And he can't be blamed for the incident, although I joke that he deserves a high grade because of it. I don't think it was his fault. He had nowhere to go. So I think it's an 8.
Yeah. P7, Yuki Tsunoda, probably his best weekend in a Red Bull.
Most consistent.
He actually looked a bit racy. Don't get me wrong, with cars he shouldn't be with, but it's that second Red Bull seat, you'll take it as it comes. Like.
Yeah.
I'll give him a 6.5.
You're harsh on Yuki.
I just want to see I think how good this title fight would be if it was 2 Red Bulls versus 2 McLarens.
Yeah. It would be, but they got the wrong driver for that. Surely they haven't signed Yuki Tsunoda thinking, oh yeah, he's going to be our number 2. Because there's levels.
I think they've signed Yuki Tsunoda because they panicked.
They had no one else, yeah.
Yeah.
Will be there, 2028, Cali Rovanpera.
Oh, we haven't actually spoke about that yet because we missed last week's episode. Basically, really quick. Cali Rovanpera, he was in our draft grid, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where did we put in Toyota and then he raced for Toyota? I think.
No, I think you put him in Hyundai, or one of us put him in. We both, I think, put him in a WRC manufacturer.
Yeah.
Basically, he's left WRC to join Super Formula, looking to get into F2 for 2027. But he is also a Red Bull junior. No, he's a Red Bull athlete. So the likelihood is he will probably go for the Red Bull route. And if he does, I will 100% back him to win a world title at some.
I think he's so hard to say.
Think of the vibes. He's Finnish. It's Kimi Räikkönen 2.0.
He's not Finnish. Yeah, no, he is. Some people will respect that. I think
you are such a dad with your jokes.
I think rallying is transferable. You look at Kimi Räikkönen, you look at Robert Kubica. It's been done before. The crossover is there. But I've got apprehensions. I think age is one. He's not old by any means. He's 25. But by the time he's going to get a look in for an F1 seat, he's going to be probably 28.
He's 25.
And
yeah, 2000.
I think that will fall against him because at the end of the day, motorsport is ageist. It is ageist.
Sure, I think when the news broke, I mentioned this to you. I think even in the junior categories, he will look really good because they are just very unpredictable cars.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. I've never really watched Super Formula, but I will. for
I
him.
don't think I've ever watched it. It's usually because they just always seem to race at Suzuka and Fuji.
Yeah, but this episode is a mess. The tangents.
It's so there's no just like coherent to it. Sixth, George Russell had no pace at all. Looked like he was going to overtake Oscar for about 3 laps and then did nothing.
Been eerily quiet about George. I mean, the weekend coming in, obviously it was the contract talk, but I've heard a dicky bird from him.
That,
So
that's such a weird saying. I'll go with a six, straight down the middle.
5 is actually down the middle. So
No, because 5 implies you've been bad.
well,
I can tell you've never done a player's rating before, have you? God. Fifth, Oscar Piastri. Right, I'm going to be harsh. I'm going with a 4 out of 10.
or from a
We would have
oh,
done if Lando Norris had a P5 this stage in the championship. We would have given him probably a 3.
yeah, no, I agree. What goes around comes around. As you said earlier on, we're very quick to praise Piastri. I think
Very quick to beat.
we gotta put the hammer down when he's not been great. And you're right,
He was
it's just not.
very close to. He was very close to getting fourth, just because Lewis had a puncture.
Nah, but he wasn't good enough.
Nah, he was nowhere near, and literally just could not do anything. P4, Lewis Hamilton. I actually think it was a very good weekend, and he did actually look very racy.
He was in the fight for a podium at one point, wasn't he? Until he came in.
Yeah, he was sort of him, Charles, and Lando had a really weird fight. It was like Charles pretty much held up Lando for the opening part of the race, and Lewis would like bounce between within a second and like 1.2.
Yeah.
And then I think they had to manage his skid plank because they didn't want to get disqualified.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna go with a 7.
I think it's been one of the better weekends for him. So I'll go for a 7, 7.5.
They look dreadful in qualifying, but
yeah, but results matter.
don't get points on a Saturday. Right, P3, Charles Leclerc. I think it was actually one of his best races in terms of how he managed it, and I think he was just slightly unlucky not to get P2.
It sounds like they had a race-long battle, which is always great to see. And
He had to be fair, he was very close to taking the lead. Out of like that weird S section after turn 1, he was
Yeah.
like getting alongside Max, and then Max just ran off, and he just held up Lando for like pretty much 3/4 of the race.
justice for Charles, man.
Get him in a good team.
It's heartbreaking, isn't it?
I feel so sorry for him.
Yeah.
This sounds like a therapy session for Charles Leclerc every week. I'm going to go with an 8 out of 10.
I'll go for a 7, same as Lewis.
You shoddy man. P2, Lando Norris.
It's good. It's good.
It's good.
No, it is good. I'll be quick. It's like we've reverted back to a former time where we're praising Lando. But
When have we ever praised him on this podcast?
like, I just think there's been times previous where Piastri's not done well. Baku comes to my mind straight away. Norris getting P7, stinker. This time, he's proper capitalised on it. I don't think he had the pace to win. Max was like gone in the wind.
Yeah.
So P2 is a really, really good result.
Do I want to go with a 9 or an 8?
I think he's got an 8 all over it. That's what I'm giving him.
Yeah, I think not through his fault. I think just because he didn't get anything from the sprint. Then we could have probably seen it. And he was I think he should have got pole. Because he just didn't improve on that second one. P1, Max Verstappen. I'm going with a 9 out of 10.
It's so ideal. So ideal for him. It's like perfect weekend, double win.
Nothing bothers him.
It's got to be a 9. It's got to be a 9.
Random question. Do you know if he wins the title from this far back? Is he the greatest driver of all time?
No, just because 7's more than 5. Shock.
Oi.
Fastest, most talented, maybe.
I think if he wins this one, he stays for a bit longer to try beat 7.
I think he can beat 7.
I think he can. I think he will. If he does commit to staying and like going on to try and break records, I think he'll get to like 8 or 9.
I think he could get to 7, potentially 8 by 2030.
I think if he gets to 7, he'll 100% want to try just to get one back over on Lewis.
I don't know. He's such a hard one. I just said 2030, and I don't think he'll be there that long.
No, I can see him just binning it off after he gets 5 just because he can't be bothered anymore.
Yeah.
F1 is ultimately, it's a side quest for him.
Oh, I can't wait to see him do all the endurance races because he said he wants to do them all. And I think, imagine if he could be the one driver who does like the triple crown, like does like Daytona.
Daytona's on the Triple Crown.
I thought Indy was.
No.
Indy 500.
Yeah, that's not Daytona.
Oh,
That's
whatever.
a completely different track.
Both American, aren't they? That's all that matters.
Both in the big USA.
Yeah, you get what I mean, though.
Yeah, I think. Do you know what? I'd love to see a driver pairing.
Indy's in Indianapolis, of course.
Yeah, for Le Mans of him, Alonso, and Lewis.
Would never happen though with it.
Can you imagine the arguing?
Like you'd get Alonso, he'd pull into the pits and just stay in the car. Lewis is there, like, oh, get out, get out.
Trying to rag him out.
Oh.
Super glued his belt on.
Yeah, no, Max
Right.
would like strop, just reverse out the paddock.
Just turn the car.
Oh, what a time.
Right, Mexico. It's coming up this weekend. We are in a triple header. Big fan, little fan, no fan,
I don't like Mexico.
small fan. I love Mexico. I think it's such a good track.
Really, I don't like it. I've never really connected with it.
I have, usually because it's a massive accident in turn 1.
Okay, yeah, it's true.
Yeah, and it also just tests the car because of how high it is. They tend to just end up braking, or they just go stupidly quick down that back straight. No, front straight, not back straight. It's not a sprint weekend. We are back to the normal format, thank the Lord, because I'm not a fan of sprint weekends.
As we know. Yeah.
Qualifying's on at 10 o'clock in the night. That is woke.
I hate it. This is why I've been so busy this weekend, and then I walked through the door, and one of my house spaces got the F1 on, and I was like, what? I was expecting it to be the highlights, and then I remember it's just the lateness throws me off completely.
My brother-in-law did the same thing. He was like, "Oh, have you seen the sprint?" I was like, "Yeah, I watched earlier." And he's like, "Oh, right, I won't ruin it for you." And I was like, "You do realize this is qualifying for like the actual race?" And he's like, "But it's like 11 o'clock at night." I was like, "Right, let's do some predicciones for qualifying. Give me your top 3."
Hard to say because I feel like it has tightened up a lot.
Yeah,
It's still going to be probably the same 3 people.
you don't, backing someone to just chuck their name into the hat. No, that's not the saying, is it? Chuck the hat into the ring.
I think I could see a George weekend.
I can't because it's a Mercedes and they can only function when it's like -5.
No, I'm going to go with a Russell P3,
Right, that's bold.
P2 Piastri, P1 Max.
Ah, you hate Lando Norris.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with P3. I'll go with Oscar. P2, I'll go with Max. P1, I'll go Lando.
Wow.
I just think he's going to carry on this form, and also, I think that also sets up the race better because usually P2 gets a better start. Right, race predictions.
So difficult because it's like gloves off. God knows. I mean, will it produce good racing? Do you think?
It's hard to say because what's the weather like?
I don't think it will.
I don't think it will. It sometimes doesn't. Why have I just typed in Mexico? Whatever. That's such a broad thing.
I can see it being a bit of a snooze fest, to be honest.
It's probably meant to be 26, and 25. I
could see Max winning it. I think Max is the favourite to win.
I think Max is going to... Well, I've got quite a bold prediction.
Okay, hit me.
Right, I will go Max winning it.
Yeah.
P2, I'll go with Oscar. And P3, I'm going to go with Kimi Antonelli.
What?
Yeah, why not?
You've just given me stick for putting Russell on P3 qualifying, and now you put
Hey,
Kimi
when you see this 8-car pile up in turn 1.
Right, okay. Is that the prediction?
Yeah, do you know the scene from Cars where he jumps over them?
Yeah.
And they're having a massive wreck? Yeah, Kimi's going to do that. No, I've just got... It's just giving me a vibe of chaos. No reason than like backing behind it whatsoever. Just pure vibes.
I like it. I'm not opposed to it, but I think the other Mercedes will have a good weekend. I think Russell. I think Russell will get P2. Max P1, Russell P2. Norris P3.
Let me guess, both McLarens crash into each other.
Maybe contact.
Oh, they have a little ding dong. Give me your biggest good surprise. Why that didn't come out then. What?
I hate these ones. They're like biggest good surprise.
I'm gonna go with V-carb. Double points wrong.
I can see it. I don't know why. I've just got a feeling. There's complete like lack of base towards this, but I just think Hadjar will really like Mexico. I don't know why.
That makes no sense.
Yeah, I don't know. I just got a feeling. Feel it in my bones.
We'll have no Checo this year, so they can't make random stats about how he's like the first Mexican driver to drive 1,000 miles in a Grand Prix or something.
First Mexican to tick off 803 laps of the Mexican circuit.
Right. Give me a big flop. Big flopperoonie.
I think a big flop will be Charles Leclerc.
Oh, you took it out of my mouth. I was going to say Ferrari.
I think just a horror weekend. They're due one. They had a good one this weekend, so they're due a horror.
I think Williams.
Okay.
Because they've had an absolute stinker last weekend.
Yeah.
Because Carlos Sainz forgot how to drive.
Yeah, just crashing into everyone. Just
bare crashes everywhere.
Yeah.
Crashes left, right, and centre. So you're not here next week, are you?
No, I'm not.
How terrible of you. Shocking.
No.
When are you back?
I'm back on the 2nd. So I'm back on a Sunday, yeah.
Yeah, that's the week Sunday, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right, cool. No worries. This has been the Push to Pass F1 podcast. We hope you have enjoyed today. Sorry, this has been an episode full of absolute tangents and just complete and utter waffle at times. But there has been a lot to catch up on because we didn't have an episode last week. If you have been listening on Spotify, don't forget to rate us 5 stars and drop us a follow. If you're listening on YouTube or watching on YouTube, drop us a like, drop us a subscribe. It is hugely appreciated. I have been Max.
Brief.
And this has been the Push to Pass F1 podcast.